Alright, I'm back and we're getting on with the next session. This is Meet Passkeys, and it's an entirely new feature introduced by Apple, the Passkeys, and I'm really interested in what this exactly works like and how we developers are, like basically what we need to do in order to support this, or how we can help support this. I'm feeling this might be just a server-side thing, but we will see. Even if that's just server-side, I'm still interested in it, so I'm going to definitely watch this video. And as a reminder, if you're watching this alongside with me, don't forget to open this on the side. I'll be counting down from 3 so we can start at the same time. Yeah, you can see my reactions, and I'm going to be writing the notes as always. Alright, so let me prepare the video here. I think I have closed the developer. Yeah, let me open it again and Meet Passkeys. Ready for minutes. It's definitely not a very short one. Let me turn off the music. Let's make this full screen. Alright, let me switch to the thumbnail so we can see a thumbnail of what I'm seeing. And I think we can start. So 3, 2, 1, play. That's amazing. That's really cool. Cool. Hayırlı akşamlar. Teşekkür ederim. Alright, I have to pause this video here. I'm sorry if you're watching this alongside me. I have to pause it here because this is going too much into detail for me and the implementation. And I just have the feeling that you just need that if you're going to implement it right away. And it's hard to watch it without having a use case. So it's a bit, yeah, a bit too much detail. I don't know. I was expecting more. I mean, it went also a lot into web stuff. And I'm going to just stop watching from here. So let me document this here. Stopped watching from here as to going too deep. Yeah, unwatched sections, how passkeys work, and multi-factor authentication. All right, so but what we have learned, I think the more interesting part was the introduction. This part was really, really amazing. And what we learned in that part, let me get back to music. All right. So what we learned in that part is that passkeys are going to be, when implemented, they're going to be really, really amazing because they basically are like multi-factor authentication, like two-factor authentication with extra SMS and confirmation and things like that without any steps. Like two-factor authentication has multiple steps. You have to type in your username, then your password, and then you have to type and copy in probably the second factor, and all of that happens in one step, and it just happens with Face ID or Touch ID. This is really amazing, but as we saw, there is quite a few steps involved into getting this to properly work. They seem to be working on making sure that this works cross-platform, and they showed, for example, an example where on a Windows computer, I think somebody had open Chrome or Firefox, I didn't quite check, but in that browser, it was possible to say, okay, I want to sign in, but I don't have any passkey here, but I have a different device. And then on the browser, on the Windows computer, they could show a QR code. That's like a feature of the browser. They could show a QR code, which is like a challenge for the phone that does support passkey, and then the phone just scans that with the camera, and the camera recognizes, okay, this is a passkey challenge, and then it brings the user into an interface where they can basically authenticate with Face ID, and then they're logged in that other browser. Amazing, truly amazing, and that's really, really great. I wanted to do a GIF from that, and I think it makes sense to actually do that. I think this is something people want to know, because it was not that clear how this would work. So let me actually get the right part here from that video where this was presented. Let me actually do the web browser thing. right? So and what's also interesting is when you don't have passkey support yet, you have to first sign in, and when you are then signed in, you can basically say, okay, I am going to create a passkey with that signed in account. And I'm sure that this also involves some stuff. Okay, I think they showed actually the part, or basically what it's about in already the keynote or the platform State of the Union. So maybe that GIF doesn't make that much sense, but at least we've learned how that works. And they also gave some tips for like how to design for passkeys, and they want us also to use the word passkey like your word password is being used, with pluralization, just like a normal noun. And they want this word to become this is not an Apple product, this is just a new kind of thing, and they want this to be used also. I think there other companies are going to use the same term here as well. And then it went in all the details, and that's exactly why I also don't want to go through this. There's like a lot of code that you need to write to get this working, and I think this should be implemented by the people and just research on the time so they don't get anything wrong. I don't think that this is something you should have like in your mind how that works. That's why I'm also skipping this basically, but it's really cool that we have this feature, and I feel that this will not be implemented until like 2 or 3 years later. So I think we will have this topic coming up in the next 1 or 2 WWDCs again, how many % of people or browsers or servers are now supporting this. So that's Meet Passkeys from my side. And I'm going to watch one more session, which is dive into app intents, and that's going to be my last session for today. So let me have a short break again. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to like this video right now. And I'm really sorry if you were hoping that I watched the full session and that I stopped watching more or less some part after the middle, but I hope that's okay. Now feel free to watch to the end without me, and yeah, see you in the next one. Be right back.